Hello and welcome to BBC Radio 12. We'd like to open up our local news hour and congratulate all of our listeners tonight for making us the highest rated show on BBC Radio 12 with a whopping 14 listeners tonight. That is a personal record for this program. All right. Well, we would like you to call in and inform us of what's going on in your part of the world, so we'll be taking calls now. Oh, and I see we have a call. All right, and what is your name, caller?
Yes, well, my name is Mr. Enfield.
Oh, welcome to the program, Mr. Enfield. What news do you have to share with us this evening?
Well, I'm just walking down the street, and I walked by this door, and normally I tell the story of the door to my friend, but he's not here, so I'm going to tell you.
Ah, such a pity. Well, our viewers are listening intently.
Yes, well, you see, the last time I saw this door, I happened to see a fairly brutish man knocking over a little girl, and then proceeding to do heinous things.
That is quite terrible. A man knocking over a little girl.
Yes, quite brutishly.
Really? Well, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this man is a criminal? What is your general opinion?
Yes. Well, at initial sight of him, I noticed that he was immediately caught by a man, and he tried to pay off the man, which makes me think that he is a criminal.
Really? Do you have any other evidence to suggest that he was a criminal?
Yes, well, as for his physical appearance, perhaps he was very, very brutish and ape-like, and he wielded a cane, and I overheard that his name was Mr. Hyde.
Oh, yes. Well, this Mr. Hyde that you speak of, what part of town did you see him in?
I saw him in Soho.
In Soho? Well, to all of our listeners in Soho, keep an eye out for one Mr. Hyde. All right, well, that's it for that call, and we have a new caller wanting to state their opinion. Caller number 2, may I ask your name?
Yes, my name is Dr. Jekyll.
Ah, Dr. Jekyll, are you the famous Dr. Henry Jekyll that we hear much about in this town?
Yes, that is me. I have many degrees. I'm very distinguished.
Very well, then. What would you have to say about this little kerfuffle on the streets of Soho?
Well, personally, I'd like to say that I am a very good friend of Mr. Hyde's, and I could never, ever imagine him doing such brutally disgusting things. I mean, the entire notion of it is disturbing.
Really? How do you know this Mr. Hyde?
Yes, well, you know, Mr. Hyde and I have developed such a close relationship, and I mean, well, somebody told me this once, couldn't remember who, but it's almost as though we're so alike, we're the same person. I mean, yes.
I'm sorry, sir, but you never answered the question. How do you know Mr. Hyde?
That's not important. What is important is the fact that Mr. Hyde could never do anything so scary.
Dr. Jekyll, you seem awfully defensive of your friend Mr. Hyde. Is there any reason for this?
Well, I just feel that there's not enough physical evidence to prove that it could have been Mr. Hyde. I mean, I feel at this point it's simply just accusation.
That's a very interesting thought. I'm sure our listeners would love to hear more of your opinion.
If you just, let me step outside to go to the loo for one moment.
Oh, but so we're not quite ready for a
No,
commercial break.
really, I insist. Just it'll be a moment, nothing more than that.
All right, if you insist, then we'll be back after this commercial break.
Jolly-o.
Now, a quick word from one of our sponsors. Are you an English teacher looking to find more ways to quiet down your louder theater kid type students? Well, just speak over them with boombox megaphones. Boombox megaphones, the loudest sound for the lowest price. All right, and now back to our conversation with Dr. Henry Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll, any other thoughts on the situation?
This ain't no Jekyll. This is Hyde.
Excuse me, I was absolutely positive Dr. Jekyll was connected to this line. Who are we speaking to now?
Nope, you're wrong. No, this is Mr. Hyde.
Oh, this is, Mr. Hyde, the man of conversation, I guess you could say. Well, Mr. Hyde, what do you have to say about the events that occurred this evening?
I didn't done it. It wasn't me. I was busy.
Really, Mr. Hyde? Now, what were you busy doing? Do you have a significant alibi?
Yeah, I was visiting one of the brothels in Soho. If I'm at the brothel, I can't be trampling little girls.
Very well, Mr. Hyde. Do you have any other ideas as to who could have caused this?
I got no idea. Now, I can't talk about this. I'm far too busy. I gotta go. Goodbye.
We now take a break from the local news hour to bring you all a new program, or shall we say a new feature, called the Psychic Minute, hosted by Madame Dubois. Madame Dubois, lovely to see you in the studio today. Oh, yes, it is so fabulous to be here. Now, I presume that you will have your listeners call in with their questions about the future. All right, and who will our first caller be?
Yes, my name is Mr. Utterson.
Hello, Mr. Utterson. So delightful for you to be here today. What can I help you with?
Yes, well, I'm currently investigating a mystery, a strange case, if you will.
That sounds very, very peculiar.
Yes, it is. Yes, I've recently been investigating as to the events that you have been speaking of all night. Ahem. And I've noticed that my friend has been acting very strangely as of late. Would you happen to give me any psychic predictions about this?
Yes, well, I'm seeing a body thrown in an alleyway of someone important. Perhaps someone of good standing and wealth. Yes, I'm afraid that this person you're concerned for may be involved in this murder in the future.
Oh, you don't say.
Yes, I'm also seeing a laboratory filled with various potions and unspeakable scientific devices.
A laboratory? Oh dear. I'll have to go. Thank you, Madame Dubois.
But sir, you must continue. I'm afraid that call has been dropped, Madame Dubois. And with that we conclude our local news hour, which I have to say has been one of the most interesting episodes I have ever experienced in my 15 years of radio hosting. And with that, I bid all of my loyal listeners a good evening.